Clement. A Ford Mustang TT4.
Dominant fashion, Kylie Glynn.
Yeah. Area 51 podcast. This Cap Houston right here. Bobby, what you got for me?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We got Dave in the building. How you doing today?
Good afternoon, everybody. I am doing good.
Good afternoon. It's evening.
Or evening. Yeah, it's already dark out.
I'd say it's light here, but I ain't no afternoon. Tonight is episode 96, I believe. I don't know. I've lost track of my numbers so far. Let's I'll get back to everybody on that. But tonight we have Chris McSwain in the building. How you doing?
I'm good, fellas. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
I tell you what, man, that's a pretty cool intro you guys got. I like it.
Thank you. And this is episode 97.
97. I'll say if you got 100 coming up, it's only a few weeks away, fellas.
Yeah, we have two episodes next week, and then the whole month of September it starts out 90 or 98, 99, and then we're in Spartanburg for episode 100.
So now, do you guys do 2 episodes a week? Is that kind of how that works, or
usually it's 2 episodes a week, but we're gonna start toning it back because race season's gonna be coming to an end, and it was sort of Rob wanted to try to do his race recap for Jeremy because we wanted to spend more time with our guest, and our show was turning into like 2.5 hours, and Dave and I were over here trying to fall asleep in our chairs.
That's a long time, especially
Yeah.
starting at 8,
Yeah, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm sitting here in the chair or in the sim going, all right, I'm falling asleep. We need to hurry this up.
Man, hell yeah, I'd be the same way. Yeah, I get it, dude, for sure.
Well, one problem is with Rob is he's an hour off. He's on Central Time. So it's 8 o'clock to him and it's 9 o'clock to us. And I'm like, man, I got to get up and go to work in the morning.
Yeah, got that hour on you, fella. Like,
right?
Oh, man. Wow. Yeah. But no, I mean, I think what you guys are doing here is awesome. Obviously I've heard a lot about this, seen a lot. Your logo, your merchandise, all the guests you've had, like you guys are doing a good job. So keep it up.
Thank you.
I appreciate that, Chris. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So, so where should I start? So, as far as me, I grew up in Spartanburg. I actually went to Bowling Springs High School. Jeremy went to Dorman. So I get this question all the time. Did you guys grow up together? Were y'all childhood friends? And we actually weren't. Didn't even know him. When I found out about Jeremy, it was probably, 2003 or 4. That's when he was in the dirt cars and ARCA, and he got in his bad accident in 2004. So, actually, a funny story. A girl I was dating at the time, and my wife, she knows the story, so I can tell this story. But the girl I was dating at the time and the girl he was dating at the time, they worked together and at a dry cleaning place. So they would dry clean his race suits and stuff. So the girl I was dating at the time was like, hey, you want to go hang out with Jeremy and his girlfriend? I was like, I didn't really know how he was, like he was starting to be in the newspaper, starting to be on TV. And it's like, I bet this guy's like a prick. And so anyway, long story short, we go out that night, I think Outback Steakhouse, and then went and played putt-putt, and we just clicked, just hit it off. So I started working in the race shop about 2005. Then I started working on his race team. I was his front tire changer from 2005 to, I guess, till I moved to Florida 2009 or 8. So for 3 years. So we did some Busch stuff, ARCA, of course. Got back in the dirt car some. That was neat. I was never a huge dirt car guy, but I have to be now because, Luke's in it now. So I keep up with him, of course. But yeah, so we just remain friends, and the rest is history. So we actually had this conversation flying back from Watkins Glen. It's like, dude, 15 years. Like we've known each other. No, it'd be more than that. 20 years we've known each other. So like he needs to take me out to eat for like a 20-year anniversary. Nice wine, nice filet. I mean,
Yeah,
Sounds like you need to go to Sonoma.
yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, my wife, she wants to go there so bad she can't stand it. So let's keep that on the down low. She's downstairs. If Sonoma comes up, she's gonna be like, "Are we going next year?" So, but yeah. So anyway, so I moved down to Florida. Moved down to Florida 2009, and the reason I did that, I was on his pit crew. Well, it was an off weekend, and I bought a dirt bike. So I was across from the race shop, which when you guys are there, you'll see it. It's all woods now, but we used to have like a little dirt bike track, and I was racing on it just with a buddy. He had a four-wheeler, which I was stupid to be racing with a four-wheeler, and his left rear tire hit my front tire, and it just sent me over the handlebars, and I ate shit. And I ate shit hard. And so broke my collarbone, was out of work, pit crewing for a while. Oh, my light went out. And so was doing that for a while. Moved down to Florida. Then I started racing in Monster Jam. So I was in the Monster Jam series racing quads for about 3 or 4 years. And did that. And then started getting older. And then wrecks started hurting a little more. So did that and gave that up. And my wife and I moved to Myrtle Beach. Yes, it'll be 4 years last month. So yeah. So that's me, fellas.
Now, when did you start being the spotter for Jeremy full time?
So it's not full time. It's just for the road courses. So Jeremy's put me in situations before with different races. I'll tell you a funny story. So it was probably, I don't know, 6 years ago, probably 6, 7 years ago. We were at Homestead. Well, I lived in Fort Myers. And so I would go over to Homestead to the race, and he'd normally come back and hang out a couple of days. And so I was over there. Well, I guess the guy who jumped over the wall who like pull the tear off and give him his water, I guess he got sick. So Jeremy told me, he said, "Dude, I need you to do this." And I'm like, "Oh my God, dude. Like, what?" I hadn't been over the wall in a long time. So I had to wear this guy's race suit. I had to wear this guy's shoes that were like 2 sizes too small. And it was rough, but we manned up and we made it happen. So so the whole deal was spotting in Mexico. He had asked me if I would, because I was wanting to go to Mexico regardless, just say, "Hey, I went to this track, I saw this, I did this." So I don't know, it's probably 2 weeks prior. He's like, "Hey man, we might need you to spot." And I was like, "Yeah, dude. I mean, that's all right. You know, I've been around the sport a long time, so I understand how that works." Now, Daytona or Bristol, no way. Hell no. There's no way I could do that. But taking the baby steps, you know, at the road courses. So did the whole deal at Mexico. And let me tell you, that was something else. We just be there with the people and the culture who can't speak your language and you can't speak theirs. And just, being on like in the stands to spot before, the race started with the national anthem, they have their anthem, and the whole, race is broadcasted over the speakers, but it's in Espanol, right? So it's just to hear that is like, then you'd hear like someone's name, like Austin Hill, or, it's just funny how it's all Hispanic. Then you hear like the American name, but it was definitely an experience. We actually had a fast car. I mean, our car, we had a good car, and the spot I was spotting was right in the stadium part there. So he was going up pretty good. This likes to be a pain in the ass, this whole thing. I got a feeling. So, so he was going through, he passed a few cars. He's going down the front stretch, and then I hear him come across the radio. He said, "I see smoke." And, whenever you hear that from your driver, it can't be good, right? And we ain't ran that many laps. And here comes the rest of the field coming through, and then here he's coming along, and had to change the transmission, and just some bad luck. But, it was a cool time to go down there. We had a great sponsor, Tate of Alliance. Obviously, that car's one of my favorite cars. But I'm glad we're taking a year off from there because that's a long ways, a lot of expense to go, a lot of travel. It's just a production with your passports, just all of that stuff. So and then he asked me for Watkins Glen, which I know that track, that track's it's been around a long time. So I knew that track. And then I've never been to Portland. So I've been watching some film on that. But the biggest thing, being a spotter, just don't lose your shit, right? Like just stay calm, collective. He can't really see that well in certain spots. That's why he needs you. So I could go on there and just raise hell, but that's just gonna make the situation worse, right? So you got to be smooth, you got to be loud, and and so far so good.
Now, at Watkins Glen, where were you at when that whole melee happened?
On the other side. So that was the one spot. So that was the one spot we didn't have a spotter. So I was kind of in the S's there. Actually, I was in that, but on that back side there, man, that was a nightmare for sure. And I don't. We thought he was clear. Obviously, it was hard to tell. I couldn't see a thing, right? Like, couldn't see a thing. So, he came on there and he said, I hit something. And, once they got these things going back, I'm going to fix this light or do something here. But
you don't need it, Chris. It looks fine without it even.
I bought this thing today and I thought it was supposed to work, but it ain't working worth the shit. But so he comes around, and obviously, I don't have any binoculars or anything, so it's hard to tell kind of what he's got. And so, he came in, the caution, red flag, all that good stuff. And then we were hoping we had another set of tires left, right? Because the 7 car did. Well, we didn't. So I think he started like 10th or 11th, and we finished 15th. But for all that stuff that happened, I'll take it.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about. Went from, in the mid 20s, most of the race to, a top 15. I'll take that.
Yeah. I was hoping they'd all wreck besides us, right? But
right.
It's just, I think, going, obviously, you guys know, you've been around a long time, but going them speeds, man, and having no one to tell you anything. And I feel like he wasn't the only driver that didn't have a spotter at that point. But I guarantee one thing, we'll have one there next year for sure.
Now you were talking about, not being at like, the super speedway, stuff like that. So, watching Jeremy over the past 5-6 years, he's a guy that hangs out back, during, Daytona. It's just, I don't know if it's his demeanor not to be up there in the shuffle, if it's not comfortable, or, or just saving it for later, like he did with the Wawa, and got, lucky at the end. But I was so pissed, I'm like, Jeremy, you're, almost a quarter lap down, and car spins out in front of you, takes you out. I'm like, how in the hell does that happen? And, they came on and they were like, when you're doing 200 mile an hour around the corner, guy spins out, you've got 3 seconds to either go up or down. He goes, most cars don't turn left and they don't turn right, so.
Yeah. And 3 seconds that's being very generous, right? And yeah, like that's a great question, Dave. And I've been asked that too. And, like, hey, well, why does he ride in the back? Why don't he ride in the front? Why don't he ride in the middle? Like, who knows, right? There's no, we rode in the front before many of times, and then we got bit in the ass from it, right? We rode in the back. And, the problem is that riding in the back is good, but, some of these guys who do that, then not Jeremy, thankfully, but some of these guys, then they, there's 7-8 laps to go. They've been in the back so long. Now they're trying to, get to the front. And they're just doing bonehead moves, just bump drafting. That's where you see your wrecks. And it's just, that is the $1 million question. Where should he run? And obviously this past weekend, that car just went off and he had nowhere to go. And it's like, oh my God, like, here we go. Like, We just had not the best luck since we won there in 2022. But there's been a ton of drivers who's raced there and don't have a trophy. So, we'll at least say we got one so far. But it's a tough deal. It's hard to say. I mean,
What made me more mad was that was the car. That was, our new super speedway car. That was Daytona, Atlanta, Dega, Daytona again. Made it
yeah,
through all those races, and Daytona comes around and it's like, damn it, now we're taking the front end off the car.
yeah,
And that was because that was the new car, correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to seen where we would have qualified. I know, sometimes we did well, sometimes we haven't done as good, but the past couple years, with the motors and just the cars, I mean, we've had some good qualifying efforts, and who knows, like if he were to qualify, let's say 10th, would that have changed his mind to just ride in the front, the whole race? And it's just, when you go to Daytona, any team, you take a look at that car as soon as it rolls off the truck, because there's a good chance it ain't gonna look that way as it rolls back in the truck, right? So we're just bad into that part the past few races at that track where it don't look the same. So we got to get that luck turned around for sure.
So you usually post pictures of the car. Have you posted the picture for Portland yet?
I haven't yet. So I normally like to I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy that. So I normally like to do that like the day or two before, like Thursday or so. And it's cool because I do have people that'll send me, private messages. Hey man, when's the car going up on your Facebook? So that is cool that people see it. So we'll probably get this thing up on Thursday. We're flying out Thursday, so I'll have that posted before we go for sure. So, but enough about
I'm
me.
guessing Portland's probably leaving tomorrow, right?
They're on the road now.
Yep.
The
So
car.
way now,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, dude, that's a long ways, man.
Yeah.
It'll take them a couple days. But so what races do you guys go to? Like Dave, are you in Charlotte? Is that?
Yeah, I'm in Charlotte, so usually I like to. Last year I hit Atlanta with the Valvoline throwback, and then Charlotte's just too much of a spectacle for me, and especially like the 600. I work automotive retail, so getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning, having to be up at 5. That's a little rough for a Sunday night. But I do try to hit up the Xfinity, at Charlotte. I want to go to Bristol next year, and then Daytona is always on my bucket list. But yeah, for the first 5 years I lived here, I was at every Charlotte race, and then I think my last one was the second Roval, and it got lucky. We weren't gonna go, but we went to Gibbs for the fanfare for the weekend, and just happened to be at the right place at the right time. Boom! Here's 3 VIP tickets up in the suites, and my my son and everybody loved it. I hated it. I couldn't hear the cars. I couldn't see the cars. I couldn't smell the cars. So
Yeah.
about halfway through the race, I'm wandering down to the bleachers, so I can, be at the race.
Yeah.
Up there was don't get me wrong, was nice.
Yeah.
Food and beverages and very nice chairs. But at the same point in time,
You don't feel like you're like involved in it, right?
I'm at a racetrack.
Yeah.
I should be sitting on a bench.
Well,
That's where I want to be.
Yes, yeah. And
Yeah.
smell the atmosphere. Yeah, I totally get that. So do you go, so you've been to Bristol or you have not?
I've been to Bristol 3 times.
Yeah.
But that's my next year track. I kind of want to go to the fall race there.
Yeah.
Um, the because the fall race always seems to be inclement weather. So, and it's just a little too far away to say, well, I got to stay over on Monday.
Right. That makes sense.
No.
So as far as road courses, are you a fan of the road courses, or
I hate the Roval with a passion.
do you?
I hate the Roval with a passion, man.
Yeah.
Because you have to sit up so high to be able to see the back stretch. I've always sat in turn one, so I can see him go into headache corner, lose him. Then I see him come back down the S's into turn one, lose him. Coming out of two, lose him. See him go into four or three into four, lose him in the chicane up on the front stretch. And then I'm just like, that's why I've never wanted to go to like the Glen or, the old Sears Point, Sears or Sonoma, anything like that. Just, I miss too much of it, and I'm still a round and round type of guy.
Yeah, yeah. No, dude, and you're spot on, man. That's like being a spotter, right? Like he'll come by for like 5 seconds, then it's like he's done again, right? So you're just like and when you're in the spotter tower, there's no TVs. So like, I've got my phone like trying to watch it. So I'm with you, man. That's why I like, your Bristols or your mile and a half tracks. I like Homestead a lot. That's a good track. But the higher up you are, the better, right? But yeah. I'm with you though, man. Like I want to be involved in it. Like I want to get there. I want to just be, a part of it. And you were talking about the suite. So in 2020, when they had COVID, or when we had COVID, Jeremy, they had the races going on, and it was the road course that they were doing at Daytona. Well, no one's on pit road, right? You're not allowed on pit road. So it was my wife, me, Jeremy's wife, Courtney. It was just the three of us. So he had a suite seats, and because that's couldn't be on pit road. So, but dude, it was the same thing. Like it was cool at first, because you get all the beer you want, and the food, but it's like, damn, like there's a blast here. Like you can barely hear these cars going by, but it's like, man, this is cool. But like I'm just itching just to get out in that environment. But so yeah, I can relate, man, to what you're talking about.
Now another question for you. So you're at a road course, and you were saying you had some downtime. Do you guys talk ahead of time about, all right, I'm going to start talking when Jeremy hits point A to point D, then somebody else is going to go? Or do you guys just have different channels that you go through?
Yeah, so that's actually a good question. So so we do have two channels, but like in Mexico, so where I was at, Ryan Vargas was spotting for us, and he was on the other side of the track, right? So during the whole race, I couldn't hear him whatsoever, like none. Obviously, it didn't make the difference because he was so far away. So what he was calling had no effect on on me. But that was just that far away, we couldn't hear each other. Now in Watkins Glen, his main spotter, I think Richard, he had through like turns one, kind of turn two, and then I kind of took out of turn two, to through the S's around so I couldn't see. So on pit road, so when he leaves pit road and he gets on the track before the green flag, they run, the pace laps. I'll say, man, I can see you here until here, or I've got you here until, he goes around the corner. So fortunately, we haven't, not since the races that I've been at, have we ever talked over top of each other. But I'm sure that could be a factor at certain places. But I'd wait till Richard when he gets done, and then I kind of just have that mindset of when I hear him done, then I just pick up right then, right? So, I mean, if he's side by side with someone, or someone's at his door or at his quarter panel, and Richard's still talking, then he stops talking, and that car's still there behind, beside him, then I know it's my turn to pick up, and I'll take that and at Watkins Glen, as soon as they went around the bend, then it was the next person. So
Yeah, because it's been kind of cool, on like even the telecasts where they're showing the spotter up there,
yeah,
and just the language and the they I believe it was, correct me if I'm wrong, Bobby, but they were doing um Brad Keselowski's spotter,
Yeah,
and
TJ Majors.
yeah, so they were quarter, 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 two back, and they were talking about the two cars in front of him, not his car, and to he, because Brad or they said that Brad knew what his car was doing, and if somebody was on either side of him, obviously they would have picked up on that, but at the
right.
time they were running 4x4 or four in line up at the front, so he wanted to know how close they were to bumping, or if they're together. That's a completely different language.
That
I'm
is,
I'm I'm sorry, but if I'm the driver, that's gonna confuse the hell out of me. I don't care. I do that stuff in iRacing, and my spotter I have tells me what my car is doing, not what the car in front of me is doing. I would be lost. I'd be going, "What are you talking about?"
yeah. Well, and that's, yeah, that's, everyone has their own deal, right? So, I tell Jeremy before each race, I'm like, dude, the less I say to you, the better, right? I mean, like, if there's a car, and I've heard some spotters, they'll be clear by 15. I'm not gonna tell him that. If there's a car more than 8 or 10 car lengths behind you, that's just chatter, right? Like, there's no reason. If they're within 4 or 5 cars up to his car, then that's different. But to me, the more you talk, because you're right, Bobby. I've heard these spotters at different tracks, and like the driver hearing this stuff come through him about what's in front, beside, and behind him, and then trying to drive his car with all these other cars. Dude, that takes a different breed of person, right? I mean, but
Yeah, that's multitasking to the 10th degree.
oh my
Yeah.
God, dude. Yeah, that's a whole other deal. But he's never mentioned, like, to me or to us about the cars in front. I mean, it made sense what Brad was saying, but I think at that point, if there's cars beside us on the left or right, we're focused on trying to beat these SOBs, right? We're not worried. We'll worry about them cars once we get up there to them.
Right. Now, Chris, you were asking about what tracks and whatnot. The only one I've really been to is Michigan and Indy,
Mm.
because I'm 45 minutes from Michigan and 3 hours from Indy. What other track have I been to, Dave? I have not very many.
I mean, I would hit Chicagoland up when
I did hit that. I forgot about that. So I hit Chicagoland. I've hit Indy. I've hit Michigan. We actually went to the Indy 500 practice or qualifying with Kurt Busch. We were standing from me to my computer away from him, which was really neat.
Yeah, cool.
Been to Bristol. Been to Kentucky. That's it.
That's not a bad resume.
That
No.
sucks compared to you. Like I want to hit some big track. Like I want to
My
hit
man-
Daytona, New Hampshire,
Well,
frickin'
I would
Iowa.
I would like to see the new Michigan. I've been down here almost a decade now, so Michigan to me was always a drink them if you got them. It's going to be a fuel economy race.
Yep.
You're not missing anything. Until 10 laps to go. It was just
Right.
follow the leader, and now it's damn near almost a super speedway. It's
Right.
You're almost 200 plus. Going into what is it, turn 3 now, and
205 going into turn 1.
yeah, that's ridiculous. That's not the Michigan that I grew up with.
No, I do remember though when we were it was ARCA, and we went to that track, and for the first time for me, and the Cup guys were out there. I just remember Mark Martin was in the U.S. Army 8 car. I think that was the number. And he's going, you mentioned turn 3, and he's going in turn 3. And like, it looked like he was just going 1,000 miles per hour. I mean, you're talking what, 15 years ago or so. But I mean, that track is just it's just so fast. I mean, it's absolutely insane and so wide. But I'll never forget that you said that just turn 3. I just remember watching Mark Martin just go around that turn, and I was like, he is moving like it's insane.
Do you guys remember the year that Jimmy Johnson dominated the whole entire race?
Yep, and then just smoked it at the end.
He's coming out of turn 3. We're in between 3 and 4. Jimmy comes out of 3. I mean, absolutely whooping everybody. Ryan Newman's so far back. He's like 13 seconds behind him. All of a sudden, Jimmy comes out of 3, gets into 4, and the car just goes poof. Smoke everywhere. And Ryan Newman it was coming to the white flag.
Yeah.
So Ryan just blew right by him. And I'm like, wow.
Ah.
Like, that was awesome. It was awesome to see, but it was like, damn, that would have been awesome to see him win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it used to be that way over at Charlotte where it was, one car was dominant. You had, the Truex years, you had the Kyle Busch years, Hamlin and Jimmy Johnson. There was always a dominant car, and you're going, it's a 600 race, and you're just kind of like, okay, this is, especially I think it was the year, of course I was there for a Kyle win, which I'm a huge Kyle Busch fan, but I was there for that win. But I can remember, I want to say it was Truex, led damn near from the green flag to the checkered flag. And it was just kind of like, we got to change this up. And I think within the next year is when it really started to get tight. But I'm really glad that the All-Star race and then, the Charlotte race is 2 separate entities now.
Right.
Because it was a lot for living near Charlotte and being a race fan and trying to go to 3 to 4 races in 2 weeks. It got expensive. It got really, really expensive.
Well,
I bet. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. The new schedule just came out last week. What is your opinion on this schedule, seeing that the races are jammed up the way they are? Like, they're really close to each other.
Yeah, so I will say that I am glad that they're taking out Portland. I think, I think not having the 51 and all these Xfinity guys not at Darlington this weekend is absolute insane. Like I can't understand. I mean, I guess we know why, but at the same time, it's like, oh my God, like this is absolutely insane. So I'm glad that they're going back, to the roots per se. But it's going to be a brutal schedule for sure, especially being out in California. They're going to have San Diego and then Sonoma the week after that.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. And I want to get your guys' take on the San Diego race. To me, I think that's going to be absolutely insane. Like, it's going to be an awesome, awesome race weekend.
See, I like the theory on it. The only thing I don't get is, you have to have a special license to get on an airplane right now. What are you gonna have to get on a naval base?
You need special criteria to get into an airplane or just to get at the airport where I work. I have to have a special license.
Yeah, like
So tell me how you're gonna. We have an Air Force base, or a military base right across the street, and we can't even go in there. Like, we can't even go anywhere near it. So how are all these people gonna get in there? You're telling me that a bunch of NASCAR fans are just gonna go onto a Navy base? I don't think so. And by the way, everybody's telling me, hey, you forgot Pocono. I'm sorry, I forgot that we were on Pocono.
Yeah, you were on that car. Yeah.
Kind of a big deal. I mean,
I kind of just forgot about it.
It's
sitting right here. It's right here. It's over there.
That was more of an experience than a race.
That was more of a we sponsored a race car, and that was cool.
Yeah. And then you got a piece of it too. So that's even cooler.
Yeah. I actually have on the other side of the computer, I have the rear deck lid
Oh, nice.
with the spoiler. They didn't take anything off of it.
Yeah. So you but I do want to get back to Pocono, but so as far as talking about San Diego, so yeah, like that's a great question, right? I mean, like they're just let all these people with different backgrounds, or like they're, I'm sure, they're, I don't know if they'll cut off like a part of it. And I actually have my cousin, he is a retired Navy SEAL, and that's where they live. He lives out there. So, that might be a question for me to ask him next week. But like, hey, man, like, how's that look? Because I mean, bring in 50,000 people onto a military base. Like I just don't know if they're going to use maybe part of it on, part of it off. Like I haven't really seen the logistics yet, but that's definitely worth finding out for sure. But Dave, you're not a road course guy, regardless, man. So I know you're just hating on it.
Well,
I'm
I enjoy watching it on TV. Now,
Yeah,
or I should say the new version. Now, the
yeah,
old version where you had kind of like we were just talking about with Charlotte. You
yeah.
had four or five dominant cars like SVG, for
Oh, God.
instance, and
Yeah,
then you had you know uh where you have three or four cars just absolutely whoop everybody,
right.
and you end up with five or six lap down cars
Yeah,
that are still competitive. Well, what I like about the new road course setup is it seems like everybody is, for the most part, nose to tail. I mean, there's not a car that is 6 seconds off, and if they are, they're, a ride and drive, where, you're out there collecting laps, you know,
yeah.
where in the past, you had the, let's just say, like who was it that Mike he had his own race team for a little while.
Mike
Mike
All
Harmon.
black.
Wallace, Mike Skinner.
Yeah, no, not Mike Wallace or Skinner. Gosh, he had his truck and trailer stolen out of Cracker Barrel. Um,
Mike Harmon.
Mike Harmon. Yep.
Yeah,
Where it was, show up, and run laps, which is perfect to do. But that those cars were always 6, 7 laps down, or half-ass getting in the way.
right.
So now I like watching them. Well, because our guys now run road courses. They're good at it. So everybody is more equal. Where 10 years ago, everybody hated it. You had your all stars. You had Jeff Gordon that would go out there and win 7 straight, and
Right.
you're like, all right, well, we're kind of into that now, but at least there's your Dingers and your Zawaliches, and we're not watching Boris Said anymore get out there in a one-off car for somebody to
Yeah,
just win the race.
right.
All of them are competitive now. They
Mhm.
have to be, or they you're not a contender for any type of championship, especially when you run what, 5 in a year now.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
So,
and you're spot on, Dave. Like I remember, yeah, back in them days, you Ron Fellows, and I mean, I remember there was a few races they would take out. I was a huge Jimmy Spencer fan back in the day, right? That was just my guy. Well, there's a few races they would take him out, put in Ron Fellows
yep.
to race courses in. But even not only him, but like your Matt Kenseth, he used to have a tough time on the road courses,
Yep.
and just those type caliber drivers. And but you're right, as the years progressed, these guys started getting faster. Like our guy, he won a road course and he never even ran a road course. I mean,
Yeah.
51 was a dirt growing
Yeah.
up, right?
Yeah.
When he won in 2017, it's like, holy shit, like this dude's a driver. Like some of these guys, they grew up, if you're from the West Coast, you're pretty much doing road courses. You're on the East Coast, you're pretty much in the South, you're racing dirt cars. So
Right.
for out there in a road course and just beat the shit out of them like that. That was impressive. So you're right. Like as the years progress, the drivers progress as well, and it's showing.
Yeah,
I want.
I miss old Jimmy Spencer.
Uh-huh.
I can remember some of the in-car cameras under caution, smoking a Winston, driving the Winston,
Yeah.
big old open face helmet, barely able to get out of the car, and
Who
but
is the
yeah,
other one? Dick Trickle.
I think Trickle
Yeah.
smoked too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Who
And
who was the guy back in the day? I have a like one of those little cards. He had the open face helmet, and he all you see is a freaking cigar sticking out of his mouth. I don't remember who he was though.
I don't
You know who
know.
I'm talking about, Chris?
yeah, well, I know back in the day, who was that driver? JD McDuffie or something?
There you go.
Yeah, he used to smoke a stove. Yeah, I mean, that's back when them boys, I mean, they were driving with no power steering, like
Right.
smoking, like,
You had a bench seat, break out the
Yeah.
windows and throw it on the track.
man, I tell you what, I love to watch them old videos with them. Not, it's bad to say, but when it shows them just crashing and they just get out of the car and it's like, oh my God, like these dudes were like men's men, right? Like they weren't no candy dudes that some of the drivers are now. I mean, they're like, they just flipped 4 times over a guardrail into a parking lot and he still got his cigar lit. Like that's pretty damn impressive.
Right. Yeah. Probably the closest one we got right now is Priest. I mean, and Zilich. I mean, he hopped in a car after cracking his collarbone for
That thing, yeah.
I've got a broke arm, and and I'm going, I could not imagine putting, he had to have some sort of brace or something like that to keep the belts off his shoulders. But
They said he had like gauze bandage like yay big to keep it tight up
But
there
still,
so it wasn't pushing on it
but
constantly.
still, if you're out there for more than a lap, you're 1 lap away from making a right hand turn into the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Daytona. It was to me, Daytona. They gave them a waiver,
Right.
for a reason.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting in the car, you're not getting out the car without help, and and if he was to hurt himself, I mean that's brutal.
Yeah, and just the pain. So, like when I was saying earlier, like when I flipped over my dirt bike, I snapped my collarbone in two, and it was like weeks before. Like I had to sleep like on my couch, just up, had like this sling thing. I mean, it just even touching it, I couldn't imagine a seatbelt. Even he had plates put in. Well, it's not like it heals the next day, right? I mean, that's got to be insane. So for him to even just strap up just some, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen this weekend. I haven't seen yet if he's going to race or if he's not. It'd be tough if he did, especially at a road course. But yeah, that's that kid. That's pretty tough on his part. At least strap in the car just for a few laps, right? I mean,
Right.
that's insane.
I just did you just see that? I took my belt and put it on. I was curious. I went like this and was like, man, I couldn't imagine. Like
Yeah.
that's pressure right there, just having it sitting.
Yeah, that's right on your lats, and they're cutting right through that.
And yeah,
they're going in right through the top. Nope, I couldn't even imagine it.
So you know what? I salute him for putting on his game face and just he wants to win that championship pretty damn bad. So
Yeah.
That's cool for him for sure.
Now, not to be biased, but is it too early to talk champion?
no, it's playoffs.
It's playoffs, man. Y'all wide. I can't pull for no one, but Jeremy, y'all know that.
I completely understand that, and that's
All right,
absolute
let's do
unbiased.
this with Chris. Rob's not here. Let's do it with Chris.
All right,
Truck Xfinity Cup. Let's do it.
go first.
No, you go first.
I
I gotta think.
Where's Majeski in points in the trucks? He's up there, isn't he?
Majeski is setting Where is Majeski? 6th.
6th. How about Corey Heim?
1st.
Ugh. So I like for Majeski. So I like Ben Rhodes. That's who I like to pull for. But I think at the end of the day, boys, I think Corey Heim's going to probably come away with it for sure. But I wouldn't mind seeing
Yeah, Heim time.
Heim time. And then Xfinity, I would love to see Justin Allgaier win again. Of course, that's who I'd pull for. I feel like the 88 car's probably going to do it, but I'm going for the 7. And then as far as Cup, I pull for Reddick. I just don't know, man. He's they've had a tough year in that 45 camp. But I would probably say
He didn't make the cut, did he?
Yes, he did.
I thought it was Bowman.
He was above Bowman. He got in on. He had enough points to lock himself in, and then it was up to whoever was against Bowman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but then now the next couple races will be the top 12, so he's got to do something for that. Man, if my wife was here, she'd say Kyle Larson. That's who she'd pick to win. But I feel like the 24 car might be the car to beat Byron.
All right, Dave, you're up.
I'm gonna go with Xfinity first. I'm gonna go with Zilich. He's been absolutely dominant. I don't see it stopping. For Cup, I'm gonna go. Gosh. I hate Hamlin to death, but I see him getting a championship before he retires. So I'd have to say Hamlin. And then for I don't even know who's in it for truck.
So you got Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, Chandler Smith, Hemrick, Ankrum, Majeski.
Let's go Riggs.
Okay. Well, Dave just took my pick for trucks. I'm taking Riggs. I think if anybody can stop Corey Heim, it's Lane Riggs. I'm going to pick Allgaier, but like you said, I think Zilich will be right there. And then in Cup, I don't know. I'm torn between two people. I've been messing around with it, trying to figure it out. I want to say Ryan Blaney, but I also want to say Christopher Bell goes out and just beats everybody's ass this year.
There's a good chance.
I think he's sick and tired of getting shoved around and having shit happen during the season. And I just think he's going to come out and just dominate.
Yeah, kind of shed that baby face, good car driver,
Yep.
kind of like Byron,
Yeah.
He's kind of got that same image of, just kind of laid back, I win some races, and both of them have won everything that really counts, except for that championship. I mean, that's
Now my dark horse, and everybody's told me I'm crazy as shit for saying this. I think Josh Berry makes it to the next round.
I hope so. I like that 21 car. That's I know it's a Ford, but which I pull for a Toyota too. But besides that, I do like Josh, so I'd love for him to. I feel like they started good, then they kind of plateaued some, and I think they'll have something for them boys for sure. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Now, before we let you go, Chris, I have one other question. What in the hell happened to Michigan? What did Michigan do to lose an Xfinity race 2 years in a row?
You Me there. All right, I've got you now.
All right, sorry. I said, what the hell happened to Michigan to lose 2 races in a row? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, sir.
I don't know what's going on. Dave, you ask. If you could hear me, say it, do it, see what happens, because I've got full service.
Yeah, well, it's been good the whole podcast just until 30
Right there.
seconds. Yeah.
I said, what's going on with Michigan to lose 2 races in a row?
Yeah,
My answer is it's not a manufacturer race anymore.
But you bring ARCA in over Xfinity? Come on now. Or no, the trucks over Xfinity. Give me a break.
So what race do they have? Do you have the schedule pulled up right there in front of you?
I did. I can pull it right back up.
I was just see. I haven't even. I looked at it, but I didn't like research it. So I'll see what they're
Hold on.
like. How's the fan base there? Is it always pretty decent?
I know that they shrank it down to 1 because it was kind of like the Roval and Charlotte, where I would rather have one solid group of fans than 2 half of fans. Either one's gonna hit the summer race, one's gonna hit the fall race.
Right.
So I'd rather have 1 pack stand for the oval and then 1 pack stand for the Roval, instead of half and half. I understand why they did it that way. But yeah, like Bobby was saying, Michigan, I don't want to say always sold out, but the crowd was there.
Yeah. It was always sold out. It always looked awesome. I mean, that was always jam packed. But it's Daytona, Echo Park, Circuit of America, Phoenix, Vegas, Darlington, Michigan, or Darlington, Martinsville, Rockingham, Bristol, Kansas, Talladega, Texas, Watkins Glen, Dover, Charlotte, Nashville, off week. The off week is where Michigan usually was. June 6th was always Michigan. Then they go to Pocono, then the Naval Base, Sonoma, Chicagoland, Echo Park, off week, Indianapolis, off week, Iowa, off week, Daytona, Darlington, Worldwide Technologies, and then playoffs. You have 1, 2, 3. You have 3 off weeks. Why are we not going to Michigan? It just doesn't. Usually it was like Nashville, Michigan, Pocono. It was boom, boom, boom. I don't get it.
No, that's you're right. Don't have the response to that. But yeah, that's weird. But there's still to race ARCA there.
They're gonna race ARCA trucks and Cup.
And then Cup, yeah.
How it was last year. And the ARCA race was an absolute shit show.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody, but 1 car wrecks and it took out like 10 cars. Like that's not fun to watch.
No. You know what? And that's the thing. I'll say this before I go, but like, it's so weird to watch ARCA now as it was back when we raced ARCA. In 2006, 7, 8. Like, there's cars lapped up to like 10th place, right? I mean, they're lapped like 4 or 5 laps, and you got your 5 or 6 good ARCA cars that just beat the hell out of everybody. Like back when we were racing there, we had DEI with Almirola. We had RCR with Austin Dillon and Ty. I think Gibbs, they had an ARCA car. They were involved in it, and like the competition then is nowhere as it is now. Like, and I'm glad to see ARCA. I'm glad it's still there. I like to see these girls and guys get these chances to race and all that to get to the next step. But it's just like, it is not the same ARCA as it was 15 years ago. So, I think when NASCAR bought ARCA, a few years ago.
I think it was 5 years ago.
Yeah. I think, I was like, well, hell, man, maybe that might help these out some, but it's just the competition is so like you got here, then you got here, right? There's no, it's not like they're bunched up. And so for them to wreck the shit out of each other in Michigan, that makes sense.
Yeah, it really stinks that, we were talking about this last year. I was like, man, they got rid of Michigan. It'll come back next year. And here we are looking at next year's schedule, and Michigan's still not there, but they're
Yeah.
racing everything but.
I mean that's actually a good question.
So, all right. Well, with that being said, we got our NASCAR picks. I'll make sure to post those so that way everybody knows who we all picked, and if we're right, who knows? Maybe we'll do a prize.
Yeah, there you go.
But Chris, thanks for jumping in with us, and honestly, episode 97, Road to 100. We can't thank you enough for jumping on and taking the time out of your busy life.
Yeah, man, for sure. And like I said, appreciate you guys having me on. I enjoyed it. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to Jake Clements. Tomorrow's his birthday. So I know Jake's listening right now. So happy birthday, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow. And hopefully we can come back with a victory from Portland.
Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, man. And happy early birthday to you too, Chris.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's 16th September. Obviously, you guys know. So we'll definitely have the podcast on. We'll probably be on the beach. I'll probably be having a few cold beers, of course, but have you guys on. So yeah, appreciate what you guys are doing and keep it up.
I appreciate it, man.
Enjoy those ice cold booze pops.
Yes, sir. Exactly. All right, fellas.
All right. Have a good one. All right, everybody. That was Chris McSwain. Dave, that was a good interview.
That was a real good interview.
We kind of winged it tonight, and it went really good.
Right.
Just like that bird behind you that's staring at me.
Come on.
He's always staring at me.
Well, he's been drinking for like 5 years now.
So, you got anything before we start running through the list? And I can't tell anybody about our 100th episode yet. We're still in the works of getting everything finalized.
But yeah, definitely keep tuned on our Facebook for updates. If you follow Bobby, if you follow myself, if you follow Rob, we'll be posting stuff as soon as we can. Once everything is, we would call it
tentative.
Tentative. Drywalled but not finished. So we're getting there. It's gonna be super dope. I'm so excited. But other than that, I think Hunter might be up. So speedy recovery, little guy. Had surgery, get rid of his tonsils and get some tubes put in his ears, help him out in the long run. But just speedy recovery. Love you guys.
Yeah, speedy recovery. Rob, hopefully you get better. We'll see you next week. I believe next week is just Rob's episode. I don't know.
Yep, it'll just be Rob next week.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
This is like 7 weeks in a row for us.
Yeah, so Rob's gonna have next week. Dave and I get the time get a week off, and then episode 98. No, 99. Jesus.
It's
They're
close.
all blending together, but 99 will be the week of, and I'm gonna make that episode. I'm gonna put it in memory of my dad. It'll be 1 year in a day when we do our show. So I can't believe it's been a year or almost a year. And then the following week we will be hanging out with my brother Dave down in Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
Let's get that booze pop. I wish we had some. I gotta find a way to get some. Oh wait, I can't have any. Never mind.
You get fat, Bobby.
Yeah, I can't do that. I gotta keep working out. I'm not allowed to do stupid things. Do stupid things, win stupid prizes, and get yelled at by 2 pit crew guys. No, I'm good. So with that being said, guys, remember to check out Anna Moore Designs for your tumblers, garden flags, and stickers. I have been asked to bring a stack of these with me to Charlotte So we will have these $8 a piece. We also have the little ones for $4. I was told to bring them with me, so I'm bringing them with us. We also Anna makes these also. I forgot to let everybody know when I got them. They're coasters for your car. I have 4 of them in there, and they're actually pretty cool. But check out galebeard.com or galebrand.com and place your order. Use the code area51 to get 15% off your order and free shipping. Remember, Dave, I'm gonna let you say it. Make them say it.
Golly.
There you go. All right. Check out the Racing Warehouse for the Jeremy Clemens hats and shirts. Those t-shirts are pretty cool looking. I wore mine the other day and I absolutely love it. Make sure you guys check out their Facebook page for their auctions. Dave and I have been on the prowl for banners and pit road signs and whatnot. And one of these days we're gonna get one. It seems like every time we start bidding on them, they go way higher than we want to pay, and we're like,
Well, hey, at least people are bidding on them.
absolutely. So
yeah.
that didn't go for $13 like I thought it was going to.
Right.
But
that's a damn shame. Those are worth way more than that.
absolutely. Make sure you guys check out Armadillo Apparel for the awesome polos and merch that they have. Can't thank them enough. Also, I wanted to apologize for the technical difficulties I had. I don't know what that was about. My internet's good. I just wanted to apologize. Make sure you guys check out circlebdiecast.com for your diecast needs. Use the code area51 for $6 off your shipping. I just bought another diecast and I got $6 off the shipping, and it'll be here in October. Dave knows what it is. At least he can take a guess.
I can take a wild gander.
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know, but I was looking at the bourbon that just dropped, the wood grain bourbon one. That's sick.
I can tell you it's Dale Jr. It's Dale Jr. and it's the baseball card from Anderson. Right. Make sure you check out Benzik Designs.
October would be soon.
Huh?
That's a real quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Usually it takes them about 3 to 6 months.
It's been about 4.
Yeah.
It's been open for a while. I just haven't messed with it.
Gotcha. Anyways.
Check out Benzik Designs. Go to his Etsy page. 164th, 124th, and 118th diecast display stands. Also, he has the what are those templates called again? That the cars sit on? At the
plate?
Yeah, the template plate.
Yep.
So he does those also. Make sure you guys use the code area51 and you get 20% off your order. Make sure that when you go to the discount or like when you go to checkout, type in area51 because there's a lot of people that buy them and don't use the discount code and get 20% off. And then they're like, oh man, I messed up. So then they message him and then, yeah, it's a whole other process. Make sure you guys check out Kylie Glick Racing for her merchandise. She just posted that she is going to be doing hero cards for $5 for the 2025 season. Thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Remember to check out YouTube, listen anytime on Spotify. We also have Facebook, Instagram, and X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Everybody keeps asking me to do a TikTok. I will talk to Rob and Dave about that. I am not 100% sure if I would like to do a TikTok yet or not, but we will see.
I can promise you I would get it shut down within moments of releasing any sort of content from me. It just wouldn't be good. I would like to be as professional as humanly possible, but I can only keep it in for so long. I've already been warned. I've been doing a show, what now, 2 years, and I've already had my hands smacked quite a few times. I can only imagine what being on TikTok would do to me.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I want to give a shout out to all of our partners who make the podcast possible. Spartan Waste, Fox Sports Spartanburg, Harrison's, Action RV, Kylie Glick Racing, Matman Designs, The Runner's Roost, Alliance Driveway Solutions, Anamore Designs, Circle B Diecast, Driven Sunglasses, Elite Towing and Recovery, High Speed Auto, The Racing Warehouse and Armadillo Apparel, Belcher Cheesecake Creations, Fly and Form Concrete Structures, First Pacific Funding, Gale Beard Products, Wings Etc., Benzik Designs, Schanzenbach Landscaping, Enigma Tattoo Studio, Aero Parts Group, Overwear Apparel Group, SB JR Designs, Henderson Jet Services, Halsey Systems LLC, Ava Hansen Racing, and obviously Jeremy Clements and Jeremy Clements Racing. I can't thank everybody enough for everything that they do, week in, week out. Dave, Rob, can't thank you guys enough for everything you guys do. I can't believe that we are at episode 97, though. I mean, it's right around the corner.
I'm excited.
So, with that being said, we are signing off, and I will see you guys next week.